Craig Heisinger is not only the Director of Hockey Operations and Assistant General Manager of the Winnipeg Jets, he is also the GM of the AHL St. John's IceCaps. After being such a fixture with the Manitoba Moose over the span of 15 seasons, Heisinger is well aware of the important balance between player development and winning that exists at the AHL level.
Well, certainly it's a developmental process there. I mean, winning's a big part of developing, and developing's a big part of winning. You've got to find that line in the sand. I mean, we've spent a lot of time finding that line in the sand with the Vancouver Canucks and the Manitoba Moose. Has it changed any now that we own and run our own American League team? I don't think so. We certainly haven't had the success there this year that we had last year or the previous years in the American League. But I think that's cyclical to a certain degree, and it certainly won't be the norm.
IceCaps head coach Keith McCambridge, assistant coach Mark Morrison, and video coach Ian Anderson have been enlisted to guide the ship in St. John's. Their leadership is already evident in the progression of a number of players who have made the jump to the Jets.
Keith was an assistant here with the Moose, brings a wealth of knowledge and experience, started in the East Coast League and worked his way up. He's a defenseman by trade. It's always good to have positional players as coaches. There's a stay-at-home D. I think you can look at the progression of players such as Paul Postma and Zach Redmond to the Jets, the impact that Keith has had on those guys in a short period of time. Mark Morrison, the assistant coach there, was the head coach of our East Coast League affiliate in Victoria when we were the Moose, and he was a highly skilled offensive player in his day, one of the best players in Canada when he played junior, and he brings that offensive element to the power play, and just to his demeanor just as a person is a real easygoing guy, easy for the players to relate to, and that's as important as the skills you might be able to teach, that you can be that liaison between the head coach and everybody else. Ian Anderson is our video coach / assistant coach, and certainly our three-man staff there brings a lot to the table. They put in a lot of time and effort.
Jets fans have established themselves as the loudest and most passionate in the NHL, creating a great in-game environment. IceCaps fans at Mile One Center have wasted little time in making a name for themselves as a boisterous fan base, which if anything prepares players for what they can expect if and when they get the call up to Winnipeg.
The environment there is good, building is sold out every night. But the fact of the matter is, it is the biggest game and the biggest team in town, and the players are held accountable every night. But winning and losing is part of development, and unfortunately, sometimes you learn more from losses than you do from wins, but certainly losses aren't anywhere near as much fun as the wins are.
Heisinger, along with Jets GM Kevin Cheveldayoff, spent considerable time in the American Hockey League and will always have a healthy respect for the league that has helped them to take the next step to the NHL.
Yeah, I think it'd be really hypocritical of us to sort of change our philosophy of how we did it in the American League, although we probably will have to change it somewhat. I mean, Chevy in Chicago and myself in Manitoba, we weren't exactly the prototypical development teams. I mean, if somebody was going to name the four teams that we're willing to spend money and we're going to try to win every year, Manitoba and Chicago, we're going to be two of the teams at the top of the list. Certainly Chevy's teams in Chicago had more success in winning championships than we did in Manitoba. But that being said, we built a good organization, a very good organization in Manitoba that gave us the opportunity to move to the National Hockey League. So we're really conscious about not losing our roots and understanding what the American League meant to us and how we treated it when that was our league. And as I said, it would be pretty hypocritical of us to lose sight of that. So we're conscious of that, probably almost to a fault. And this year, you know, we've probably made some mistakes on that side. But it's been a different year with the lockout year, and maybe we haven't spent as much time there as we should have. But you'll learn it's different when you're the NHL team and you're running your own American League team. You have to concentrate and make sure you don't lose sight of what's important there. And I think at times, probably I personally have, but you learn from those mistakes and we'll learn from them.